Hail to George Mason, Don your green and gold. We are back on track, baby. Mason last night out duels and out fights UMass 70-59 at home. A big win stops the bleeding for now. And it's not all peaches and cream, but it's a win, is a win, is a win, is a win always. Mason stops the bleeding, moves on to 13-10 on the season. By the way, folks, now only one win off of tying last season's win total of 14 and 5-5 in the conference. UMass falls to 13-9 and 4-6 in conference play. Of course, last night, if you were there at the game, folks, it might have been one of the most energetic games of the year I've been to. That it was not as big as the crowd against Joe's on Sunday, but boy, oh boy, for those who were there, that crowd was absolutely rocking. That crowd of about 2,805. It was a small crowd, but good crowd for a Wednesday, cold Wednesday night in Fairfax. I had a good time sitting there on the bench. But the big story, of course, Justyn Fernandez is here, ladies and gentlemen. He is here, and he is not going away. He had led the team with 18 points, added in 5 rebounds, and then an assist. 2 steals, by the way, by Mr. Fernandez. 2 steals, by the way. No turnovers and no fouls cost. I don't think you could ask for any better game from a freshman, and especially a freshman at that. Also, by the way, 5 for 7 from the line. Going to take that every single day of the week. And 3 from 4 from beyond the arc. Electric. Anytime this guy, if you haven't been to a game yet this year, if you, for any reason, get to one to watch Justyn Fernandez, because Justyn Fernandez is the most electric and exciting thing happening in Fairfax County right now, folks. Most fun player to watch. Most exciting player to watch. Anytime he gets the ball in the open court, the whole arena just explodes, and it's incredible, and it's awesome to see, and I love it. I love it. I do. It's awesome when you hear it. Josh Oduro, of course, he had his minutes. He got his time. 15 points, 9 boards, 6 and 9, shooting 3 of 3 from the free throw line. You love to see that from your big. Love to see perfect. 3 from 3 from the line. That's awesome. And then followed up then, Victor Bailey came off the bench, played 27-28 off the bench, put up 11 points, hit a couple really big threes in the early part of the second half, made it 39-30. Really from that point, Mason really, there was one point in the middle of the second half, they kind of let it go, but they really, after those 2 VBJ threes, really never let this game die, never really let it get out of hand. We're in pretty much total control. From about the last 5 minutes of the first half on, we're in pretty much total control of the game. By far and away, the best performance, I'd say, in the last three or four games, I'd say. Probably the best performance. Probably, you could argue for most of Rhode Island. Definitely, certainly the best, but I think overall, I think the best performance of the last 4 games, I think, came tonight. Again, people are going to say there's the asterisk. There was no Noah Fernandez, who kicked our ass last year. There was no Matt Cross, who's our second leading scorer. He's dealing with some type of horrible illness. Apparently lost 18 pounds over the last week and a half or something like that. Sounds terrible. You have RJ Lewis, who had looked very dominant in an increased role, was smacked upside the head and had a nose issue that kept him out of the second half. But I want to point out Lewis did play the whole first half. He was 0 for 4. He had 2 fouls. He only had 1 rebound, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. He was a -8. And not by, Mason wasn't. TJ Weeks, though, we've talked about the guards. TJ Weeks went and got his, but he was only 6 for 17, 3 from 11 from 3, but he still ended up with 18 points thanks to 3 freebie shots from the foul line. By far and wide, UMass's best player. Wildens Levesque had probably one of his better games this season, was 12 points, but he only grabbed 4 rebounds. Give me a question here about his ability rebounding was brought into question before the game. Definitely showed. DeAndre Dominguez, who's kind of their big guy, he had 11 rebounds. Was really the key guy. Not like Mason dominated in rebounding or anything, but it was necessary for that to happen there. And really neither Levesque or Isaac Conte, who only got 7 minutes due to some foul trouble. That talented freshman, he only got 7 minutes because of foul issues. He got 4 fouls in about 8 minutes of play. Not a good game. Looking at us, though, like I said, probably the best performance of the last 4 games overall. I was happy with most of the guys, not perfect. There were still stretches where we didn't score, but I think the big thing today, there were still 16 turnovers, but there were not as many live ball turnovers as it felt like there was against Joe. A couple of the turnovers were charges, a couple of the turnovers were missed passes. It wasn't a lot of the live ball stuff that we saw against Joe's. And even though they're turnovers, that's not as bad as the live ball stuff. That it's still turnovers. We still want to be cleaned up. Not as bad as you giving the ball up in the live court and let them go on fast breaks. Half the time. Devon Cooper, I want to give a super shout out to Coop. Got some criticism. He was 0-6 from 3, only put up 6 points, 3 of 10 shooting, but he had 8 assists. If Coop can provide 8 assists, around, 9, 12 points, 6 assists 5 assists every night, you can't ask for more than that. Can't ask for more than that. Malik Henry, super efficient. 4-5. We love it. I want more Malik. You want more Justyn. We have Dick Gaines coming back. That's going to be the question, and we're going to roll into it here. That's going to be the question for Saturday against Loyola Chicago. That's going to be the question. Is Ticket back? They say it's very, very close. He's warming up the team. Is Ticket back? That's going to be the question, of course, for Saturday. And if not Saturday, then next Wednesday against at Duquesne in Pittsburgh. By the way, fun fact about that, and of course we'll go live into that in a week from now. Less than a week from now, but this next Wednesday, the 8th against Duquesne, will be the first time the Patriots will have played the Dukes in 3 years. Though the last 2 meetings were last year and the year prior, both canned due to COVID issues in the Duquesne camp, actually. So, yeah, interesting little. Actually, I think last year's might have been issues in our camp, still stemming from the Kansas walk-around issues. But either way, looking ahead here. The Loyola Chicago. The storyline, of course, is Ticket. When does he come back? And then who loses minutes? I think is a story here. I think there's a story in the fact that Saquon Singleton did not get any time last night. That's interesting to see, and that seems to be in response to, other than a pretty nice block, Saquon admittedly did not have the greatest game against St. Joe's on last Sunday. That seems to be a response to that. Blake Jones, I think in double-digit minutes for the first time this season. He got almost 12 minutes, 11:41. Again, not so much in terms of the stat sheet, but he did look. He took his moments when he had to. He took his moments and he looked good on defense. But there's this one stretch. Him and Jenica were out there together. That's just not a front court that can honestly work, I think. I like both of them as players. I just don't know if they can be on the court at the same time. Considering where their offense is right now, I just don't know if it works, especially considering that our guards are still sometimes they're not as always consistent. I still think we kind of need a big down there who can, put up a back. I think Jenica can be that guy if he stays inside. But Blake isn't an interior guy. It's kind of weird with Blake because everyone else of our bigs are interior guys. Elvis will be an interior guy. Jenica's an interior guy. Obviously, Malik and Josh are interior guys. Blake is a put him out in the wing and shoot. He had a really good look, I thought. It was on in the second half when he was out there. I didn't hate the shot he took. A little bit softer, and that's probably in. Maybe that changes the conversation on this a little bit. But, if Blake's out there for 11:41, I want to see him shooting more than one time. He only had one foul. Didn't do any fouls. He only had 2 assists. Blake Jones is a surprisingly good passer. I think if you watch these games, Blake Jones is a surprisingly good passer. He's very quick, and he's very good with it. Like, it's very direct. There's no issues with it. He doesn't, kind of soft check it. Like, it's a very good hard boom, right to chest to hand pass, chest to chest pass that you get from him. That's something you like to see, and I think that's why he's getting more minutes. He was hustling a lot, and Coach English has talked about this. He's talked about if the players show that, they're working hard and they're playing more minutes, they will get more minutes. And we've seen it with Justyn. We've seen it with Malik this year, and maybe we're seeing it with Blake a little bit. If he could kind of become this defensive, 6 minutes a game stalwart, I hate to say it, is he maybe taking Saquon's minutes from earlier in the season, where Saquon has kind of now become this defensive singlewort here, but has kind of shown issues, in the offensive side of the game. We don't really know what Blake's throw shooting is like. He's not really an interior guy like Saquon is, but we have guys who can do that on this team. I just don't know if he should be out there with Jenica, but I think he looked good when Josh was on the floor. When he was on the floor with Josh, I thought Blake looked good last night. Devin Dinkins got him some time. Jenica Orgiaco got about 9 minutes. He had some good touches. They just didn't fall, but he had some good touches. I think if some of those fall a little bit more, he'll get going again, but he does need to get going again, I think. Elvis and Najee got in there for about almost 3 minutes for 2:45 there last night. So all three freshmen in the game last night. And then, yeah, I do want to point out the one last big key stat here before we go on and talk about Loishai a little bit. 13 to 17 from the line last night, 77%. Super, super crucial. Super crucial last night's victory. We did not see the issues from the free throw line like we've seen a lot of the time this season. And again, most of the cards, our guards were guards. It was Polite, Fernandez, VJ, and Dink took 14 of those 17 free throws. Josh took the other three. And like I said earlier, Josh made all of them. So if you're limiting Josh's, you're not having our bigs take the heavy free throw carries, and it's Ronnie, Justyn, VJ, and Dink, that's going to go better for you than if it's, Josh, Malik, and Saquon and Jenica taking them, even though I think Josh has looked a lot better taking free throws. Jenica, when he's taken free throws again in recent times, he's looked okay. Malik, Saquon, please work on those. Not saying, I'm just saying it would be, I think that's an area of both of those games where they clearly need work. And it's probably for Saquon a reason why Saquon didn't get any minutes last night. But yeah, rematch. First time, I think, if I remember correctly, first time I believe we have a rematch this year, I think, heading to Chicago to play against, to take a rematch against the boys from Loyal. I'm going to double check this here, but I'm pretty sure first time this season that we're playing a different team. Now we're 10 games into the A10 season now. Pretty sure this is the first time we are replaying a team in the A. Yeah, I'm right in that. So yeah, and we'll have 3 of those in the next 4 games. Other than the New Cane game, they're all rematches. At Lloyd Shai, at home versus Rhode Island on the 11th, and then at GW in the Smith Center on Wednesday the 15th. If it wasn't for the fact I had a class that goes until like 6:45, trust me, folks, I would be there at the Smith Center that night, and it would be a blast. But not the world we live in. But yeah, so the 3 in the next 4 games are warm-ups here. All right, rematches here again. Rematch against Loyal Chicago. Beat them pretty resoundingly at home. 86-75, one of the bigger, along with this one, it's tied for our biggest A10 win of the year, 11 points. Philip Alston, the thing with Loyola, the reason I think they match up well against us is because they don't really have a scoring guard. Ben Schweiger is a guard forward hybrid. Brandon Norris, you would think would do better, but he struggled sometimes. Marquise Kennedy, another guy, he struggled. And also, they don't really have a real big. Tom Welch and Bryce Golden have both struggled at certain points for them this year. Oduro really feasted on these guys. It was 17 and 12, along with 2 assists. Only had 2 turnovers. That's pretty good from Josh as well. Devon Cooper had a really good game from the free throw line this game, I remembered. He put up 17. And this was the Malik game. Remember, this was the Malik game, excuse me, because Josh got in some foul trouble. Malik had to play 17 minutes, but he got 15 points. 7-9 shooting. We love that. Like I said, Malik, super efficient. We love that. We'll talk more about this in depth, but just remind you guys, Loyal Chicago on Saturday at 2:30. That's where we're heading next. But right now, big win. I want to hear from you guys, the fans, what you guys think about that win. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Please subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, hopefully we're going to be getting some players in here soon. But for right now, this is what we've got. Just me here recapping and previewing games. But right now, I appreciate all the support and all the love been given. I really appreciate you guys. Hey, 2 games. You win 2 in a row. I think they call that a winning streak, folks. Go green and gold. We'll see you back here on Friday afternoon for the review, for the preview, I should say, between Mason and Loyola. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good rest of your day.